Now, how does this translate into IT, into information technology? When you think about straight-through processing or business process management or workflow management, you think about 4 basic steps. First, you have the business case development. You develop what is the process that you want to characterize in your business. Then you mirror that process in a definition which is understandable by computers, so you can monitor and execute that process. Then you load that definition in computers into the execution, and some of the aspects there are automated, and some of the aspects are manual. And then you monitor the output, and you start again with refining the business process. You usually go through this cycle every 2 or 3 years, because fundamental business processes don't change that much. Now, how do you fit algorithms in here? Well, it's a different story. In algorithms, you start with a bench to develop the tools, to develop new decision automation. And then you have another tool which tests these algorithms in real life in a parallel test to the execution in the workflow or business process management. And when you're happy with that test, you incorporate that algorithm into the business process. And you go on and measure the output or the improvement of the business process, and you think, well, perhaps I should now introduce a second algorithm. And again, you go through the same mechanism. You test it in parallel, and if you're happy, you incorporate it into the business process. And so you go on. The important thing to realize here is that you do this orange cycle far more often than you do the blue cycle. You do it every day, or you do it every week. So you have continuous improvement. So what's my message here? Remember my examples up front. Remember that these companies have succeeded in totally transforming their business by having repetitive decisions fully automated. Their intellectual manpower in-house is focused on improving the algorithms, not on doing the same things over and over again. And by doing so, they have reduced service costs by a factor of 1,000. They have actually not reduced service costs, but if you had tried to do these kinds of businesses with people, it would have been simply impossible. You cannot do what Google does with people. You cannot do what Barracuda does with people. So they invented new people. They invented new business processes and therefore new businesses. And here is the crux, and here is really your challenge. You are not in a business which you can reinvent. You have to transition out of a very large legacy. And that's even more difficult than it is to invent new businesses like Google or Barracuda. That is the real challenge of introducing algorithmic operations in finance. Now, it's not impossible. It has been shown with algorithmic trading, and it will happen, as we already saw in the example, slowly creeping in. So my takeaways here are, remember that in workflow management or business process management, you have a relatively low cycle time, a long cycle time. Every 2 or 3 years, you go and redefine your basic business process. Whereas in algorithmic management, you have fast cycle times every day, every week. So you need to have a platform which accommodates both. And to do that is not easy. And it's particularly difficult when you have to evolve a legacy environment rather than starting something from scratch. But remember the great advantage here. You will be able to capture the intellectual property in your operational decisions, something that you have not been able to do before. You will charge your people to continuously improve the decision-making in these people. But in order to do that, you need a platform in IT which can evolve with you. So as you are now introducing straight-through processing or business process management in your business, keep in mind that this is the goal of the future. You have to add algorithms into your business process over time. So you better make your business process system, your platform, ready for that next revolution, which will undoubtedly come. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimashita.